The film starts on April 3, 2020, where a dangerous virus was spreading rapidly all over the world. Approximately 300,000 people came in its embrace and washed their hands of their lives. That's why curfews were imposed in America and other countries so that people do not leave their homes. After which we go to a food store, i.e. where we get food, we see a boy there who had come to pick up the household goods. At that time, a stranger's message is sent to him who asks him to party. Then he asks, "Who are you and why are you sending such a message?" Then the next person says something strange again, that if you have this virus, then we will not party. If you are safe, then the party will be done. Then he again asks him, "Who are you?" But he does not answer. Now when he goes to pay at the counter, the person behind him makes a picture of it and sends it. The one who said he was very scared, he felt strange. He thinks that someone is playing a prank on me by following me. He ignores this when he comes out to his car, then the stranger's call comes. And he asks that I had told you something about the party. Are you ready? Hearing this, he angrily abuses and turns off the phone. He had left for his house. As soon as he comes inside the house, we can clearly see that there is someone else in his house. There was a door open at home. As soon as he closes it, a man in a mask attacks him. He puts the knife in his hand. The one who was injured was in great pain. Then he pushes the killer and hides in the room to save his life. He takes a baseball bat out of his hand and goes out to face him. He starts looking for him, but the killer comes and grabs him from behind. He cuts his throat, which causes his death. Now the question arises, who was the killer? We will get the answer to this question later. Then we are shown the story of a few days later. We see a girl whose name was Parker. She used the internet a lot. She used to post on Facebook, Instagram, everywhere. Due to the curfew, she was fed up of staying at home. So she was going to go on vacation with her friend. Before going, she makes a picture of herself and posts it. She also puts the name of the place where she was going in the details. When both reach there, her friend, whose name was Miri, is quite surprised to see her grand house. She says that your house is perfect for vacation. It is very big and beautiful, which I really liked. On which Parker replies that my dad bought this house many years ago. And I keep coming here with my friends for vacation. Then Parker also gets a message from an unknown number. Are you having fun? Are you enjoying these images? On which Parker also asks him, who are you? But in return, that person does not give any answer. Then both friends go to Jill. When that unknown person again messages her. That I know you and your friend are enjoying near Jill. Seeing this, Parker is quite surprised. She thinks who is he who has come here following us? And now he is watching us. She also tells this to her friend Miri. On which she replies that this is quite strange. I think he is our friend who is joking with us. When both were drinking together at night. Then a car comes and stops outside the house. Both go outside the window and look. Where a man comes out of the car. But he was wearing a hoodie coat. So she can't see his face. That man knocks on the door. Both of them ask who is it. But no answer comes from the front. This thing seems strange to Parker. She immediately takes out the knife and goes near the door. As soon as she slowly opens the door. There is no one there. But when her friend Miri turns around and looks. So there was her friend. Parker had also seen her. So in anger she asks him, what is this insolence? Then he replies that no, I did not scare. I just knocked on the door. When no one opened, I came in through the back door. Parker asks him, but why did you come here? He says that when you put the post, I saw it immediately. I have actually come here to surprise you. Actually, Parker's friend says sorry to him. But Parker did not think so about him. She was a little different. Who not only made friends with her, but also with many other boys. She says that you go away from my house right now. Because I and my bus have come here to celebrate the holidays. So don't stay here. He says that I have come here after such a long journey just for you. So not now, I will go to Chennai tomorrow morning. On which Parker gives him permission to spend only tonight here. She was getting bored. That's why she starts dancing in the basement. Because of which she was very tired. Her friend stops Parker and shows a video. Which she had put on the internet. When she was with the boy, from whom she met at the party. He asks who is this boy and what is your relationship with him? Parker says that actually I liked this boy at the party. So that's why I have to make this friendship. Listen, they say this is wrong. How long will you keep doing this? I want to marry you and get rid of all these things. Parker replies that this can never happen. What you are thinking, I just call you a good friend. Nothing more than that. Saying this, she leaves from here. And her friend feels very bad. He was sad. After a while, he opens the door and comes to his car. To take necessary things. Yes, then we see the masked man behind him. Who was the killer? And he quietly opens the door and enters the house. So here it is known that the messages that were coming to Parker. The masked man was saying that he was the killer. Parker's friend takes his stuff. Comes back inside. He locks the door. After which the three of them go to their own places and sleep. When Parker was sleeping, the masked killer comes to his room. Who steals his mobile and keeps it with him. In the same way, he goes to his friend's room and takes his mobile. In the middle of the night, when his friend opens his eyes. He is very surprised to see that my mobile is missing from here. He was wondering who could do this. When he comes down and starts looking for his mobile in the whole house. Parker had just woken up. When she also sees that her mobile is missing. Then she also thinks. Whose work is this? Who can take my mobile? She starts going down. Then his friend catches him on the way. He does not make any noise. He puts his hand on his mouth. And then slowly tells him. Listen to me carefully. Apart from the three of us, there is a fourth man in the house. Who has come here without calling. Who is dangerous. He is wearing a mask. And he also has a knife. I saw him roaming around the house. Then you do this. Take the key and go out in the car. I wake up Miri and send her too. So that she does not harm you both. Hearing this, Parker gives her car keys. And comes out of the window. Sitting in the car. Then she starts waiting for the two of them to come. From the window she sees that the man in the mask is in Miri's room. And the knife is just made to kill him. Now before that knife hits him. His friend comes and stops the killer. He then starts fighting with the killer. By the time Miri was also awake. So his friend tells him to run away quickly. Go and sit in the car outside. So she does this. Immediately starts running towards the car. The two girls sit in the car and wait for their friend to come. After fighting with the killer. He starts running away from there. So the killer attacks him very badly with a knife. Due to which he was very injured. His blood starts flowing. Only then the door opens. The two girls see that their friend is coming out. He is not right. He is very injured. When she looks at his feet. She is disturbed. Because he was hanging in the air. That's why the killer also comes running after him. The girls are very scared to see this. That the killer has put a spear on his back. And he is hanging in the air through it. Now it is obvious. He was in so much pain. That he almost died there. The two girls start screaming. And the car starts running away from there. And that clever killer had punctured all the tires of their car. So she can't get out of here. But the car comes out of a tree and collides. They had an accident. As soon as the car stops. The killer had come in front. He attacks them with a brick. So these two girls get out of the car and run away. And came back inside the house. The room above. Which was in front of the studio. She goes there and hides. And the door is tightly closed. But then the killer also came here. The door does not close. As soon as he opens the door and tries to come inside. So the punker pushes him. He falls down from the studio. And during this time. The two of them got a chance to run away from here. Parker breaks the window. And goes out of here and starts going towards the roof. She tells her friend. You also follow me. But when I was passing from there. The killer catches her from the window. He pushes her hard. With which she falls down. That poor girl's leg was broken. She doesn't even write coffee or blood. She was very injured. Her condition is getting worse. Parker comes down and goes to the kitchen immediately. To get the knife. But then the killer had also reached here. He puts a knife in her hand. With which she was injured. But she still does not lose courage. She competes with him. But the killer hits him hard. And beats him a lot. But in the meantime. Parker comes on top of him. And puts a very strong thing of steel. On his head. Then blood starts coming out of his mouth. And he immediately fainted. Seeing this, Parker takes a breath of peace. Because he felt that the danger was over. But when his eyes fall on the door. She was quite surprised. Because the other companion of this killer had also come inside. He thinks his companion is dead. And starts crying. Parker immediately runs away from here. And comes outside to her friend. To check whether she is dead or alive. Then she finds out that Miri is still alive. Only her legs are broken. Then she sees that the killer is coming alive. And is coming here to her. Then she tells Miri to close her eyes quickly. Pretend to die. Saying this. She herself runs away from here. And her friend does this. When the killer comes to her. She feels that Miri is dead. Then he does not say anything. And Parker also goes behind. Parker immediately gets on the boat. And starts rowing with the help of the jacks. She had come a long way. So the killer does not come ahead. And stops on the shore. While Parker was constantly moving forward. So that she can ask for help from her neighbor. After going a little far. She gets very scared. Because she had come to know. That the killer is in the water. Which was following her. And reached her boat. Now he starts attacking from below with the help of the jacks. Due to which a hole is formed in the boat. And at once the knife passes through Parker's hand. Due to which he gets a lot of pain. That's why she jumps into the water. And starts running away from there. After running away. She immediately reached her neighbor's house. And goes inside too. When her neighbor comes with a gun. And asks her. Why have you entered the house? Who are you? To which she answers in fear. Uncle, I did not recognize Parker. In childhood. She used to play with your daughter. Your neighbor. A killer is behind me. So call the police immediately. Please. As soon as the man wants to call the police. The killer comes from the front. And kills that man. He takes her home. And starts shouting at Parker. But she does not get a single bullet. She comes out through the window. And starts running away from there. There she had come inside the house. With her broken leg. She breaks the chair. And tries to support her leg with wood. She then puts a bandage on it. And makes a kind of plaster. Then she sees that the mass killer. Who was lying unconscious. He has come to his senses. He also sees me. And tries to catch and kill.